years of trying, 20 years of frustration. Dale Earnhardt will come to the caution flag to win the Daytona 500. Finally. Third-generation star Dale Earnhardt Jr. brings him to the flag. Checkered flag waving. It's over. It's Earnhardt.
He's going to do it. He's going to win the race and the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship. California's Kevin Harvick does it.
You are the 2014 Sprint Cup champion.
The 24-year-old from Dawsonville, Georgia, is about to join his father, Awesome Bill, in elite company. Chase Elliott is a NASCAR Cup Series champion.
Ah! Ring that sign, boys! Yes!
And the 1991 winner of the Daytona 500 is Ernie Irvan, the Morgan McClure Chevrolet.
Morgan McClure Chevrolet, honk.
Honk. We were talking like a half hour ago, and I was like, AJ, I just can't wait for the honk, dude. Like, I'm so excited.
Gets me every fucking time.
What's up, everybody? Clean Air Show. PL is 29, Phil.
I guess we got to put a disclaimer on in here, actually. This is uncensored, so you might hear some vulgar language.
Some of our friends are pretty rowdy.
I'm AJ, One Lug TV. Here again. Been an off season, Phil.
Yeah, it has not a lot of NASCAR news, honestly. But
no, I mean just Hamlin losing his crew chief, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, whatever. But we figured we'd switch it up a little bit. So AJ and I were having some conversations and figured we'd throw a little bit of short track stuff in. And what better way to do it but kick off probably the second biggest race in Florida besides the Snowball Derby, the Bigley Memorial that's this weekend at Freedom Factory, only 45 minutes away. And a lot of the late model guys are getting coverage, but some of my boys down in the lower classes are getting forgot about. So wanted to give them all a shout out, bring them on here. All of them are pretty cool guys and got some pretty cool racing stories. So figured we'd throw a little bit out there. So we got Dodge Carlbert coming on first. Jimmy Frazier will be up shortly after. And then Kyle Case will be here at some point. But first up, Dodge. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Really appreciate you coming on, chatting with us, dude. I know you've got a lot of stuff going on and a lot of big things happening for this weekend. So why don't you give us a little rundown of what you got that you're running for?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Definitely have a lot going on. We got 3 back-to-back races. So we went to Arbondale this past weekend, then we go Bigley, then Snowball, and skipping on Tulsa this year, but hopefully go back next year. So no, I'm excited for this weekend. Huge race. Bigley's a really cool event for really cool people. So, and it's the final points race. So,
how's the points race stacking up for you?
Pretty good. I mean, nothing's ever guaranteed in racing. Sadly, I could break on lap 1 and lose the championship. So, luckily though, I've built up a decent points lead, and top 15 will guarantee it for me. Basically,
how many cars are they expecting this weekend?
They're only allowing 20 because there's not enough parking there for both classes. So they're only allowing 20 cars.
So was it like the first 20 to sign up and that was it?
It was top 20 in points. If nobody in the top, if somebody didn't register that was top 20, then they invited. That's how like Colton Bettis and Chad Rutherford got in.
That's a pretty cool deal they put on. I know they were calling it an invitational. I didn't know how they did it where that. You guys lost a points race, didn't you, at Auburndale?
Yeah, we lost a points race at Auburndale, and we lost a race at Freedom Factory, but they added one for this weekend. So, because this wasn't supposed to be a points race originally.
I got you. So, when you first started in racing, you started at Freedom Factory in the 4-cylinders, right?
Technically Showtime. When I first got into like big cars, technically the first track I ever raced was East Bay in go-karts. RIP East Bay, that sucks.
Another one.
Yeah, another one. But technically Showtime was the first track. I ran Kids Fast 4 and then went over to DeSoto and old DeSoto days and ran some ran some of the kids fast four races there. But I didn't get to run the big track until we went there with the Sportsman last year for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, I never got to run the big track when I was younger.
Were you not old enough at that point?
I just wasn't in the adult class yet, and then right after I like moved up, they shut down. So, but it happens.
DeSoto.
Yeah, R.I.P. DeSoto. But here we are with Freedom Factory, and nothing against old DeSoto's management. I don't remember exactly who it was. I think it was actually Johnny's dad. So, but yeah, no, I think it's under a lot better care. They put a lot more money and effort into it for sure.
The place is unreal.
I was a little nervous when Garrett took it over.
I think everybody was. I think everybody was kind of like still recovering from the PTSD of Moto Bros screwing everybody over with 417, and I think everybody was a little nervous.
I mean, it's like I think what he's doing is great. I hate that the short track community didn't come out as big as what could have been, but at the same time, like a lot of people set their schedule at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And like schedules are set. And if you have off weeks planned, like you can't just throw races in. And that's the biggest problem that like AJ and I were talking about like a couple weeks ago when we were talking about this deal. And I was like, that's the best thing is there is nothing up against the Bigley.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part. So you've got the only big like this race, if it was a month earlier and Cordeal didn't have the Crown 300 at that point in time, I think if this race was when the Crown 300 was, this race would be an easy 60, 70 car race for super late models. But it sucks because, like, if you look at the year, there's really nowhere else to put it. I mean, so you're throwing it in right before the Derby, and that's why, like, you won't have, like, people like Michael Hine won't be there, Bubba Pollard won't be there because they have to get ready for the Derby. But a lot of people make the chance to do both. They must, either have cars already ready for the Derby or they just don't care. They're like, all right, well, we're rebuilding in 2 days and get back after it.
I know usually Majeski has a Bigley car and then a Derby car because the wraps are different.
Yeah, I don't know the whole like Toby deal over there, but I'm sure I think they have 2 or 3 cars, probably more than that people know about. I think like 3 of them all look the same. So
yeah,
they probably have like 3 cars, 4 cars.
Now, I know going to the Bigley when it was at 417, used to get a lot of those big name late model guys that came down that aren't racing this week, and not saying that anybody in this field isn't big named. Is that because 417 set more up like Five Flags did as opposed to DeSoto, or is there just no correlation to there?
I don't think so. I mean, you really don't have anybody that's really, really big name that was there for 417 that's not there for Bigley. If anything, you've got more big names now than you did for 417. 417 is a very, very flat track. Nothing like Pensacola. DeSoto is closer to Pensacola, and it's completely on the other spectrum. But I would say, I don't know. I mean, it's all politics. People do what they want to do at the end of the day, and racers are going to race. Racers are going to be here this weekend and then ride up Sunday morning to Pensacola. But some people don't have the money for it or whatever for supers. It's expensive.
Gotcha.
Now, besides Sportsman and besides everything else that you drive, I know you got modifieds. I've raced against you in Crown Vics, 4 cylinders. What else have you run? I know you got the micro sprint or whatever it is you run on dirt. Is there anything you don't drive?
No. And next year it's only going to be more car. I mean, I think I'm down to like after this year, hopefully there's only like 1 or 2 cars I haven't drove on asphalt. And then my next adventure would be dirt, but my dad refuses to do it. So I like the dirt side of things, but yeah, I've got the micro that I drove last year at Tulsa, which was really fun, and drove it here and there with Shay and Jesse. And yeah, I drove a lot of stuff this year, but next year we're hoping to expand a little bit, go midget racing here and there, and go do some other things on dirt, and then still focus on Sportsman and modified and some super endeavors and a few other things coming along.
What's up, Chris? Got one right
Budweiser.
here.
Yeah.
Hey, breakfast of champions.
Breakfast of champions. I'll stick to the. Gotta.
I mean, hey, pre-show we were here, buddy.
Hey, that's where it's at.
I got water.
They got water. Yeah, that's what I should be drinking.
I wasn't
but-
getting up.
I got water.
That's what I should be drinking for this weekend. But I figured it's a smaller race. I should be all right.
It's gonna be nice weather too.
Oh, it's gonna be so nice. I'm excited. I just want to get this week. Like, I hate to say it, but I just want to get this weekend over with.
I'm ready to watch. We're actually the two of us will be showing up Saturday, so we'll come see you.
Yeah, swing by. We'll be there. We'll be doing hopefully pretty all right after that race. I mean, I plan to wake up still messed up from celebrating. Hopefully. So.
Well, shout out your sponsors, bro. I know you got a few.
Oh yeah, no. Big shout out to Bun. Bun, the whole Bun family. They own the Sportsman. They own the Pure Stock. They're great people. Heath and Ashley, and then my dad. Always everything I drive, my dad has hands on with it. And he's the master approval for everything. So, but other than that, I got Boyd Tech over at Boyd Technology. I've got Q Auto and Injury Attorney, JDC, SNL, PSI, Q Auto. I think I already said Q Auto and Injury Attorney probably. And just everybody that's involved, DCAC, everybody. I mean, there's so many people that come and help out. Big shout out to Eric. He's been. I think you might know Eric Shane. He used to work at Arbondale, and he's been supporting us with the Bandolero stuff before we sold it. Now the Legend stuff, and he comes almost every week to the shop, works on the stuff when I can't, with work, and he'll be at the racetrack every week to work on stuff. And now he's been a great pair of hands. And then my cousins, Alex, Tyler, Logan, all of them, they've been hands-on every week, just busting their ass at the racetrack. So, and because Michael's going to get mad if I don't shout him out because he's a little baby. Michael Goddard, you suck, but I love you. Big, he's a big brother to me. He spots for me a lot. So he'll be spotting for me this weekend. And that's probably one of the coolest friendships I have at the racetrack is I go help him when I'm not racing. He comes and helps me. He was here. He was with me at the modified race. He showed up 10 minutes before the feature, probably. I'm just playing. He showed up like 30 minutes before the feature and was there just to spot for me and then left right after. So great friend. And now I'm excited to get through this weekend. No, I love him, man. We parked together for the weekend, so I'm excited to get the party going.
Awesome, bro. We'll stop by and see you Saturday. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
I just want you to know you
Jimmy
have a new channel
Frazier.
on this.
Jimmy Frazier sucks.
Hey, Tristan Cotton, our buddy that was in Discord with us earlier, wants to know where he can get some Dodge merch. Is there anywhere they could buy shirts?
Yes.
Or,
All right. Perfect for the holiday season. If you go to Bun Racing's Facebook, or I think I shared it onto my racing page, so Dodge Carlbert Racing, but Bun Racing, go to Bun Racing. They just shared a link this week, and the shirts are badass. The hoodies are badass, and they're not bad priced. I think like the shirts are only like $15-20. The hoodies are only like $30, and they're nice. They're comfortable. They're warm, and it was cold as hell this weekend.
will you have them with you at the track this weekend?
We don't carry them because we go through that. Those people. I forget the website name off the top of my head. Apologies, but yeah, no. We always could if people reached out to us and wanted to buy some. If they send Bun Racing a message or me a message, I'll order it myself and then bring it to the track, and they can just give me cash. We're always open for anything like that. Sometimes we have leftover shirts, so just stop by. We might have a leftover shirt to throw out, to you guys, or we always have cards to sign. We always have anything else. So, and we're very friendly. Promise we don't bite. Everybody makes us to seem like we're assholes. I promise we're not assholes. So.
You're not that big of an asshole.
No, I'm just a prick. I've been told. So,
Not an asshole.
I'm an asshole. I'm just a prick. Yeah.
We get him a sticker made for the back of his car for that.
We need that.
Yeah. Well, y'all said this wasn't a PG show or whatever, so we're fine.
Not at all.
Let it fly. Our NASCAR shows usually get pretty interesting.
There's age restrictions on our NASCAR shows.
Yeah. No, we're. Yeah, but yeah, we always have stuff. We're always very friendly. Just stop by. As long as it's not in the middle of practice, you're usually okay. Then Boyd might yell at you. Other than that, no. It's a good question. I'm trying. Oh yeah, somebody just said about my dog. Hold on, Mally, girl, come here. Oh,
The old puppy dog.
This is the old puppy that everybody loves at the
now the
racetrack.
comments blocking the dog though.
Bro, I gotta.
There we
We'll
go.
do that. I'll cover it. Me up.
Now you look like Wilson from.
She's
Howdy ho, neighbor.
it's a big old lap dog. She loves to sit on my lap when I'm sitting here at my computer, and she everybody knows her at the racetrack. She's more popular than I am. She's more popular than my brother.
No way.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, everybody loves Mally. Bryson's got a little mouth on him now, so he's not so popular anymore.
We also need to know when you're getting a crown collab.
What is it? A crown? I wish. Make that crap free. It gets expensive. I want some crown Blackberry.
Tristan wants me to grab a hero card because
I'll make sure we get Tristan a hero card.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. We got plenty. We got some for the pure stock mod. We just got new ones from the modified. Shout out Wheels.
Old Speedy.
Yep.
Manila Envelope Gang.
You should have seen him. You guys need to get him on the show tonight. He was carrying a legend wheel.
I tried,
through
bro.
the pits.
I tried to get him to come on, and he told me no, and then he gave me the idea to bring you on. So
I have never seen a guy in a wheelchair carry a fucking tire through the pits. It was awesome. It was great.
For nothing, bud.
I think it was me, Chuck, and somebody else, and I stood there and I was like, he's got a tire. And he was taking it back to the guy's pit. I was like, what a guy, dude.
I'm gonna have to ask him about that.
Before we let Dodge go, I got to bring Jimmy in here because I need you to be able to respond to that "you suck" comment, Jimmy.
Oh, I do sometimes. It's okay. Everybody knows it.
I think we all have at one point in our racing career. Am I right?
Oh, for sure. Every race can't be great.
Dude, I got jumped one night at Freedom Factory. Stuffed like that was the night of Marty with Marty Nikens when I went right into his door dodge. And the first, dude, I didn't care about anybody. I ran down pit road like all pissed off at everybody else, and I'm like, I just hope Dodge isn't pissed at me. And he's like, what would I be mad at? And I was like, dude, I right reared you. And he's like, no, really? I was like, yeah.
I had nothing to do with it. I didn't know. I didn't care. I was like, whatever. I think at least you didn't like William Patterson it and throw a trash can at somebody.
I've been known to throw a couple things here and there.
Not a whole trash can. We call him the trash can cannon.
I threw a can of Copenhagen through somebody's window one night, bounced it off his helmet. I got banned from the Freedom Factory for a couple hours for throwing my receiver the night I got stuffed in the wall by Talon Craft because my receiver went in the passenger window and out the driver window and hit the track official.
You see, I never get that opportunity to throw stuff. Usually when I junk my race cars, it's by myself. So
we all step on it every now and then, Jimmy.
Jeez.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
I feel bad because I got blamed for the last one and I had nothing to do with it, technically.
I blame 5-star.
I
So
just want to go back. Phil, how do you get banned for a couple hours at a racetrack?
They're like, go sit in the corner.
Like, go in time out.
I had to go into the infield care center because I wrecked my car at more than 40 mile an hour. So I had to sit in there, and then the girl's like, why is your blood pressure so high? I was like, I just hit a fucking wall at 80. What do you think? So they wouldn't let me leave there until my blood pressure came down. So a half hour later, they're like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, the freaking ambulance that parks outside.
Oh, yeah, I've been inside there.
That's their infield care center. Well, they made me sitting there until my blood pressure went down. So then,
I don't think you were banned then.
No, they removed my transponder from the car, handed me my license, told me load my shit and never to come back. And then once I got out and I had calmed down a little bit, I went and talked to the guy and I was like, listen, my bad, I fucked up.
That just takes some talent. That takes some talent to get banned for only 3 hours.
The best thing was the track official guy was Tyler Jewer, the little short, like he used to do all the welding at Bradenton and stuff. And he was like mouthing off and I was like, dude, I will fucking pick you up and slam you on the hood of this car if you don't shut the fuck up. And it's all on like camera. There's me flipping off Talon Craft and then him yelling at me. Dude, you said you need to drink water, but you're over here pouring more Crown.
Dude, I'm trying to hide it. You guys are
Man of the people.
Man of the people. Leave me alone. drinking out of a straw too. That's the best part.
It's all right.
Phil, check private chat.
But all right, I'll let Jimmy get after it so he can talk about his B main win coming up this weekend.
Oh shit, that's fucked
God.
up.
Oh wow!
I'm
All
sorry,
right,
dude. I
damn,
love
that's
you. I
low.
think no. If I'm being
Wow.
honest, I love Jimmy. He spotted for me at Rattler. He's a great dude. I just like to fuck with him some. Great guy though. I felt so bad when he wrecked that Arbondale because like couldn't happen to a nicer group of people. His dad's always cooking for us, always the first one to come over and invite us over for some food, and they're always there to help him, Kyle, all of them. Man, they're always very.
Usually
very
when
great
I say
people,
couldn't
so.
happen to a nicer guy, it's really not meant to be a nicer guy though.
No, Jimmy's a good dude. I've only seen him get mad like once or twice. So
When was that?
I think it was honestly probably against my dad when my dad had a pro truck.
Oh, probably yeah.
But
I mean, your dad
no.
used to go at it a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I used to hear about it because I was
I
never
piss
at the
Jimmy off
racetrack.
on iRacing all the time.
That's not hard to do, Phil. You do that to everybody. Dodge, what I've learned from all of this today. You're not an asshole. You're just a prick.
Nope, just a prick.
Just a prick.
It's the way to do it. But all right, guys, you guys have a good one.
Thanks for
Thank you,
coming
buddy.
on, bro. We'll see
Thanks
you
for coming on.
Saturday.
See you guys.
We can bring Kyle in at the same time. They're teammates. I mean,
Go ahead.
look
Kyle,
at
you look
him.
like
over-
Kevin
Dude, he
Owens.
was not ready. He was not ready for
He
that at
looks
all.
like Kevin Owens.
What's going on, bro?
Nothing. Chilling. Killing.
Hell yeah, that fan looks like you're wearing one of the propeller hats behind your head.
It's putting in work. It's been on for 6 years straight.
Somehow I feel like that's not a lie.
No, we don't shut it off.
It's working overtime.
Oh, so you guys got, I know Jimmy's got a doubleheader coming up with the Super and the Sportsman, but Kyle, you're bringing out the Sportsman this week. I know you've been running that. You've got a couple races under your belt, a couple wrecks under your belt, but how's that going for you?
And I wouldn't call them races. We haven't finished a race yet this year.
You were there.
No, I was hanging out. I've been hanging out in the back, but I mean, it's been fun. We bought it as when we're talking about doing something different. We bought a Sportsman because everybody else I like to hang out with has got a Sportsman, so I decided to buy a Sportsman. And it's been a learning curve, and I still don't know what I'm doing. And we're going to try to finish a race this weekend.
At least you admit you don't know what you're doing. I mean, that's the start.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Jimmy, apparently you have an idea of what you're doing since you're running a Super and the Sportsman. So how'd you end up with that deal?
The Super came together with actually Kyle was a big hand in it and the Cluckers. We were looking for a car to run, and Cody can't run it right now. He's in school and all that, so it's kind of the car was just going to sit. So we ended up with it, and we went and tested a little bit at the Crown 300. We were pretty quick in practice and had some bad luck with tires and stuff for the race, so I didn't really get to show how much speed we had. But I think we'll be pretty good for the Bigley race. Obviously, there's things that happen out of your control, like tires. But
Been there.
as long as everything goes good, I think we should be fast enough to make it in the race. So,
And you're both locked into the Sportsman deal because of the invite thing.
yeah. So I'm fourth in points. I think Kyle is.
And I am 20th. I made it in.
So
Just barely.
I got to thank Chad Pierce. He came through with me on that one. Let me run his car. My car's the clip's knocked off of it right now after Auburndale, the last one we were in. So
I mean,
he texted me.
that's
He's like,
times two.
he texted me. He's like, wow, I didn't know you were fourth in points. Here's a race car to go run the last race. So excited about that. It's going to be a busy weekend. You're probably not going to see me take my helmet off. So if you come and try to talk to me, I'll probably be in a race car.
We'll come see you after the race.
Oh, for sure. We'll have food and stuff. Y'all can come hang out. We can have plenty of food and beer and all that. So
I know how you guys roll.
Oh, yeah.
The cooler is going to be full this weekend. I just got back from Sam's in the liquor store.
So how many races have you actually run in the Sportsman? Like how many races have you been to, Kyle? Let me rephrase that.
Was it 7?
And he's only made it to lap 15 on each one.
No. I made it to lap 50 at Cordell.
Okay, lap 50.
The battery went dead.
So it saved you?
Yeah, we weren't going anywhere. I think we were running like 18th, just battling like hell, 3 laps down. Just fight with guys that are also 3 laps down.
I'm gonna ask both you guys this question because Jimmy, you raced the Pro Truck for a long time. Kyle, you raced Crown Vic for a long time. What's been the biggest learning curve going to the Sportsman out of your 2 respective classes?
So, well, I actually went from a Pro Truck to a modified. So
I forgot
to
the
me, the
modified was in the
Sportsman,
middle.
right? So the Sportsman was kind of like a jump down. Pretty much the same adjustments as far as chassis wise, but as far as from Pro Truck to a Sportsman, it's definitely Sportsman's like a late model with a 602. So there's a lot more adjustments you make and stuff like that. Other than Pro Truck, you got about 4 things you can change. Sportsman, you got about 20. But for me, setup wise, and then Sportsman's by far the easiest thing I've driven. They kind of drive themselves. It's how good you're going to do in the race is depending on how good the car is, really. So
That's not what Kyle told me.
well, yeah, well, that's a little different situation. He's learning. Yes. But I mean, you get someone that's been around race cars for a while and driven higher level cars. Sportsman's is by far the easiest thing to drive. I think pretty much everyone will tell you that. Low horsepower and cars kind of outdo what motor they got.
So the chassis kind of overpowers the tire and the motor, basically.
No, for sure.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, those are normally Supers are on what, a 10-inch on those? You guys
Right,
are on what,
right.
9s?
Yeah, so the Sportsman run on 8-inch. The modifieds were 8-inch with basically a super motor, so a little more challenging there. I don't know how it's going to be this weekend, jumping from a Sportsman to a super. I've jumped from a Sportsman to a modified, and it hasn't been that bad. So,
I got to feel like you're driving a 4-cylinder.
oh, for sure, for sure. I know it was like that with the modified. Hopefully, the tire with the super kind of balances them out to where they're not too much different. But super's definitely a lot quicker. So.
Now, you started in mod minis, right?
Yeah, so I actually started racing when I was 6 with 4-wheelers, and then went from 4-wheelers to go-karts, and then mod minis, raced at DeSoto, Auburndale, just back when DeSoto was open. Ran there a bunch, and then pro trucks, modifieds, ran a couple super races, sportsmans. Really the only thing I haven't ran is a mini stock and a sprint car, so I don't really care to run mini stocks, but maybe a sprint car will be one day.
I've always wanted to drive a sprint car. My wife
Yeah, for
won't let
sure.
me.
I had a chance to drive one weekend, and a guy texted me and ended up having to work that weekend, so I couldn't go. But
Damn work.
hopefully one day.
Kyle, same question.
What was the question?
Going from a Crown Vic to a Sportsman, what's that? What's the biggest challenge to it, other than finishing the race?
Yeah, I mean we're not having great success, but it's not, we're having part failures and stuff like that. It's not so much me falling out of the seat, even though I'm going to fall out of the seat. Really, the biggest thing is just the adjustment part. It is honestly the easiest car I've ever driven in my life. I point it left and it goes left. If I want to go right, it goes right. It goes anywhere it wants to go. The biggest adjustment is just figuring out, okay, if it's not doing what I want, what do I have to change? That's why Jimmy's here.
It's not like a Crown Vic where you set air pressure and go, or in your case, you just show up and go.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we were pulling them. We ran Punta Gorda. They would sit on the trailer. If nothing broke, they would sit on the trailer Saturday, and they would go back on the same trailer the next Saturday. We wouldn't change anything, nothing at all. And then every 3 races would come off and get maintenance, and that was it. These are a lot more work, a lot more. You have to pay attention, a lot more note taking, everything. Even when I was running pure stocks back in the day, those were the same thing. I mean, you maintenance them and did a little bit here, did a little bit there, but they were show up and race. And these are not. These are tear it apart when it comes home, put it back together, figure out why you're 23rd and you're 2 seconds off of, or you're 0.2 of a second off of third place.
It's like having a second full-time job.
Literally. When the car is here, the guys that work for me actually help me do it. So I literally have these guys being paid to repack bearings and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
It's like music to Phil's ears over there.
It is.
But yeah, it's literally it's a whole different world. And like I said before, I wasn't quite ready to probably get one of these, but everybody else I wanted to hang out with owned one, and I was like, well, we're going to try this. And
the problem is, you try to get anything else, you can't travel around. The rules are different everywhere you go. I mean,
well, that's what we looked at. We looked at trucks. I mean, obviously, I'm not going any higher than a Sportsman in the near future at all. Number one, I don't think I can fit. Number two, I don't want to do that. But you look around and like these, you can take them almost anywhere. I mean, we went up to Alabama for the Rattler and ran on Friday night against Outlaw cars, and we're competitive enough to run against them. That's the only race I've actually finished. We finished 5th.
How many cars were there?
There was a lot.
Yeah.
Jimmy wrecked.
Yeah, he beat me. I wrecked.
Yeah.
Go figure. On your own?
No, this was not
Okay.
on my own.
Oh.
This was 100% not on my own. It was not my fault
all
either.
right.
I think he hit everything that night besides the pace car.
We rebuilt the whole right side, including the door bar, with some shitty welder Kyle had in his trailer. So
That easy welder, baby.
yeah, it looked rough.
It was like
Saturday.
It was like I think we started that race at like 1:30 in the morning.
One tap in the door and the bar's falling off.
Oh yeah, no, we couldn't.
Oh, yeah.
We couldn't jack it up on the right side all day Saturday because the door bar would fall off. So.
What was it like? It was like 2:30 or 3:00 in the morning. We got the side by side yanking the door bar straight. Like
Yeah, so that weekend was interesting because we drove up Friday and I just bought a brand new trailer. The guy had too big of tires on it for what I was hauling. So when I put my golf cart in my trailer there, we blew all 4 tires all the way up to South Alabama. So we were changing tires in the Busy Bee parking lot on I-10.
what was that like? That was like 2:00 in the morning on
Yeah,
Thursday.
2:00 in the morning. And we got up there at like 4:30. And I think we slept like an hour or two, got to the racetrack, was there till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, got a few more hours of sleep, and was there again Saturday. So that was a rough weekend. But
Yeah.
That sounds like the night that Kyle got us a motor with the Bigleys at the Governor's Cup.
Oh yeah, that was what I think I went and laid down for 15 minutes waiting for the
Yeah.
Ace hardware to open.
Yeah, that was a good one. So Kyle, you started as just a fan at the racetrack pretty much every week, rooting for people, hanging out
Yeah.
with the Bigleys and stuff after. But then you went into like enduro stuff and then pure stock here and there. But give us a little rundown of that.
So I've been in a racetrack since I was a month old. My parents sponsored cars up north at Flemington and Wall Stadium and New Egypt. So I've been around racing forever. And then when I was 16, Billy put me in a pro truck in the rookie class. No practice, no nothing. Get in it. They need another truck so they can run the race. No idea what I was doing. And then yeah, I think you ran it in the pro or Dylan ran it in the pro race or something.
I ran it in the rookies like the next 3 races, and then they kicked me out because they told me I had too much experience.
Yeah, I ran 2 of those, which were 2 complete. I finished third in both of them though, because there's only 3 trucks.
You have to poop in the seat.
Yep. They're telling me to spin it. I don't remember what was going on, but the only time I wanted to spin it, it wouldn't spin. But if I looked at it wrong, it would spin out. And then I went in and we built an enduro car for that series I used to run with the Strictly Stocks of DeSoto. Had really good success with that. And then DeSoto closed, and we had success other places with it. And then we ended up with pure stock. Well, we ended up with like 3 pure stocks, and that didn't end so well. I took probably 3 or 4 years off after the last wreck in the pure stocks.
Was that the one that the ball joint broke at Punta Gorda?
Yeah, and the throttle hung, and I hit the
the
pit exit. Yeah, I slipped a disc in my back after that.
Ooh.
Yeah, everything. I got stuck bent over at work one day, bent over and couldn't stand back up, and had a disc slipped and We had tried a couple times, then we just took some time off. Became just a fan again.
Can we go back to how that hell happened?
What?
Your ball joint breaking?
Oh well, that thing broke 2 ball joints actually. So it broke.
So paint the picture.
Well, that wreck, we were battling. What was it, like a 50-lap race? And we were running like 8th or 9th, and we're battling against the guy that owns a moving company. No, it wasn't you. It was the guy who owns a moving company.
I was right in front of you.
Yeah, who was the guy that used to own a moving
Kenny Gardner.
Kenny Gardner. So Kenny Gardner and me were stuck together like a magnet when we raced bombers together. For some reason, we'd always find each other. And he's actually, it's not his fault, but he's the reason why both left front ball joints broke. Every time it hit me in the left front wheel and it cleaned the ball joint out. And so we coming off of 2, hogging, hit me in the left front, went down into 3 and 4. I was like, something's wrong. Kept in it, kept going, come off 2 again, he hit me in the left front, ball joint exploded. Went straight in the fence, hit, it moved the clip backwards, which pushed the throttle wide open. And I went all the way down to the pit road exit before I could hit the kill switch. So we still have that car. It's actually, I've reclipped it, and we'll probably never do anything with it, but I still have it.
Sitting in the graveyard behind the house.
It's sitting in the junkyard behind the house.
I have heard about the graveyard behind the house a couple times.
Listen, I have got cars strewn everywhere. Various stages of crap everywhere.
I still plan on coming to get that one from you.
Come on, I mean, one less thing in my fucking yard.
When Phil goes to pick that up, I gotta go. I gotta see what this looks like.
It is. I mean, we've got enduro cars, Jeeps, pure stocks, Ranger Danger Racers, Ranger Danger trucks. We got one of them Ultimas for the Ultima race at Freedom Factory.
Jesus.
We just went and bought another enduro car for my brother. See if we can cut his ear off again.
Jimmy, what's in your backyard?
Nothing. Everything I own is nice and in my shop. Well, except for my Sportsman because it's wrecked. But everything that I own is in the shop. I don't have enduro cars.
Everything fits in his shop. Okay.
Listen, your car's nice from the doors back.
Yeah.
We've all
It's about as nice as mine is right now.
So, are you saying yours isn't ready for this weekend?
No.
No. We're gonna be running a loaner car.
Nice.
Somebody came through and is loaning me a car for the weekend.
That's awesome.
So, I plan on starting on the back stretch, so I cannot hurt it.
That might be a good place to be.
Less shit to hit, right?
Yeah, you can't hit it if you're not in it.
Well, both of you boys, why don't you shout out some sponsors, people to help you out?
God, we didn't even go through Jimmy's history here.
Yes, we
Go
did.
through Jimmy's history.
Not really.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Jimmy. Go back. Go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Phil trying to kick you out so early.
I'm not kicking you out. I was just.
But
Go ahead, Jimmy.
we talked about it a little bit.
All right. Go ahead. Continue.
Oh, you gotta ask
Not
me a question.
What?
Listen, I cleared my entire night. Come on.
I know.
What
for 38 minutes
is
into this.
Who is the biggest rival you've had in your racing career?
Biggest rival would be in the truck for sure. Nick Hernandez, 100%.
Ooh.
Yeah, me and him went through it. The last year that the Truck Challenge Series was racing, me and him went through it a lot. Like every race, we were next to each other and we were hitting each other. We even fought on the front stretch one time at Citrus. Well, him and my dad. But yeah, definitely Nick Hernandez. We were always up front racing for the win, and you know tensions are high when you're racing for the win, and we were always next to each other for sure.
Now, in this Sportsman deal, like they said this weekend, I mean, there's 20 cars there. 15 of them could probably win at any point in the race.
Yeah, so I mean the field's always within. I mean if you're 2/10 off, you're last. Like I said, these cars are so easy to drive that a tenth makes a big difference. You're fighting for half a tenth in practice. I mean, when you get to the racetrack, you're fighting for whatever little bit you can pick up, because that's the difference in a couple spots in qualifying. So if you qualify, good, you're good. If you qualify a 10th off, you're 15th or 20th. So that's kind of what I've been struggling with my car this year is qualifying speed. It hasn't had that. It's definitely had the race speed. It's showing a little bit, but the qualifying speed, I haven't had it. Now that car's wrecked, so hopefully looking at building a new car next year for a Sportsman. Probably not going to race a whole lot in that class unless, I come up on some rides here and there, but going to be building a new Sportsman next year, and just excited to be running the Super and all this weekend. So it's kind of a dream I've had for a while. I wanted to run this race for a long time. It's a really cool race. A lot of guys I wouldn't have the opportunity to race with normally. So I'm excited.
Just being there is a whole different atmosphere. Like, since this race started, I know Kyle and I were crewing for the Bigleys at the first ever one at DeSoto. And him and I had been around him for a whole time, but like the people we met that weekend, that the amount of people that this might be the only race they show up to all year to support, but the amount of people, you can't get near the Bigley's trailer. Like, don't even try on Saturday. Like, you're not getting near there because there's so many people and they're so busy with the cars and talking and doing whatever. Like, how does that make you feel as a driver? Like, does it feel like it puts you in more of a spotlight?
I mean, honestly, for me, because I did it at the Crown 300, it takes pressure off because it kind of lowers your expectations, like with the Sportsman.
That's like your big show that you've done.
Right. So like with the Sportsman, I expect to do good. And when we're not doing good, I get really stressed out and, I look pissed off all the time. Kind of with the Super, like, I don't expect to go out and win. I want to, right? But I was happy being 9th or 10th in practice on Friday. I was happy with that. So especially with who you're racing against. A lot of guys, like this weekend, you got guys from Wisconsin, Canada, some people from NASCAR, and it's really cool to race against them. So you kind of go in with no expectations for sure, especially since, the car's not what a lot of these guys bring down. So kind of got to do with, you got what you got kind of deal. Just deal with what you have. And luckily I don't think it's a bad car. It's pretty quick, or at least it was at Cordell, and I think it's going to be this weekend. I think we got a very good opportunity to make the race with it as long as everything goes right. So I think well into the qualifying of where you're supposed to be. So but we'll see.
So question for you. That 300, now were you anticipating running the whole 300?
See, we talked about it a lot. We were kind of just planning on doing kind of a start and park deal. And then Friday, we ended up being pretty quick. So we're like, well, maybe we'll run the whole thing. And Saturday, we were quick on old tires. We ran on old tires against everyone that was stickering up. And we were like 13th or something against people with stickers. I'm like, well, so we went into qualifying, and the car was just different than it was the whole weekend. I don't know. We qualified in the back, so it was either we go ahead and put we only get 3 sets for the race, so we were kind of in the dilemma of we put on these tires are bad, so we can put on a set, but we're going to be a set short, so we're not really going to gain nothing. So we ran 15 laps, I think, and went from 23rd to like 11th. And then the car was just losing more and more drive every lap. So we decided to pull off and save what we had for the Bigley, because that was kind of the main goal. So we back in one piece and didn't really have to do much to it.
The reason I actually asked that question, so like if you were going to run the whole 300, what would different prep be as a driver? Like, would you have to prep differently knowing you're going to run 300 laps? Because I know 100 is a lot. Like, I've run a few 100-lappers, but like 300, like how do you prepare yourself?
I mean, drink a lot of water. I mean, luckily I'm pretty physically shaped a little bit, but I know the weather depends a lot on it, so it's going to be cooler this weekend, which is going to be nice.
Just
The
promote
last
yourself,
time I
and there's
ran
that.
the last time I ran the Bigley race, or not the Bigley race, at Freedom Factory in the Sportsman after 75 laps, I looked like I was drunk when I got out of the car. I was stumbling around and dehydrated and everything. So the summer definitely sucks. It's winter now, so it's a little bit cooler. It was cooler up there. So yeah, but just definitely hydrate a lot because you sweat it out for sure.
Kyle, what's your race day prep?
Well, let's see. I wake up, piss excellence.
Oh, Kyle's is definitely when you use the cool suit because he has one of those. Definitely put ice in it because
Yeah,
if you
don't just put
right.
water in it. It becomes a sweatsuit.
Learn that
It's
the hard
very
way.
hot. Yeah, well, we bought it, and I get it, and I get it all hooked up. Tell my wife you got to put ice and water in it, and I think she put 1 cube and the rest water. And we were at Cordell, and by the time I got off, I looked like I had been in a clam bake. The water was like boiling in the bag, and I couldn't reach it to turn it off.
Oh,
That
So I'm just
sucks.
sitting there cooking on top of already being hot in a car it panned well, but it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. It was down on power because battery's going dead, and I am sitting there like a lobster.
Oh,
Yeah, so we don't use that anymore.
I mean, used in the right way, you could use it.
Well, a lot of people complain that it does the same thing. Like the Bigleys told me, it's going to get hot, and I was expecting it to get warm, but I mean, it literally started boiling.
Yeah, I mean it's upwards of 130, 140 degrees in the summertime in these race cars. Probably more than that, honestly. And I don't think you're keeping ice in there no matter what you do. I know I keep a cup, and every time I keep a cup in there at the end of the race, all the ice is gone. So
Yep. Well, the Freedom Factory, I think we ran 25 laps before I decided to pull in with the clip being knocked off of it. And I couldn't even spot for Sean. I was wore out sitting in a trailer. And Sean Lamash kind of me was like, "You gonna spot for me?" And I was like, "Nope, you're gonna find somebody else, dude." I was hot, and I was wore out for the rest of the day.
so now Freedom Factory question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Setup wise, how is the paving in 1 and 2 and the bumps in 3 and 4? Which do you accommodate for?
who's that question directed to?
You.
Okay, it's all about getting through the bump in 3 for me.
So that's your main focus point, pretty much.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I've always struggled with. When I got with the Sportsman, the last race, what was it, a couple months ago, it's picking the front tires off the ground. So everybody struggles with that bump. So 1 and 2 so grippy that it's been just repaved and it's got so much grip. If you can get through the bump in 1 and 2, the bump in 3, you can get through 1 and 2 just fine. So I feel like everyone kind of works on that bump in 3 and getting through. I mean, the whole corner's rough, really. So, definitely, like every time I go there, you have to raise the car up and to keep from bottoming it out.
So
Yeah.
another big question. So with all the laps turned this weekend, the bottom's going to be rubbered in like heavy. How do you think that's going to affect side-by-side racing?
So, I feel like it definitely affects the supers and the sportsmans differently. I feel like the supers are definitely going to move up a groove, because they have the power to do it. The sportsmans are probably still going to kind of hug the bottom like they always do. I think the supers, you're probably going to see a lot of the guys move up, especially in 3 and 4, to get around the bump and kind of there's a groove of fresh asphalt about 3/4 of the lane up. They're going to try and get the right sides up in there because it's got so much grip. So, especially after 50 to 60 laps, when the tires start getting older, you'll see people start to move up for sure.
So you said you're building a new car for next year. Besides that, what other plans you got? You going to run any more super races or anything?
We talked about it a little bit. I don't really know what's coming up. Maybe a couple sportsman races. I don't know. kind of gonna go by ear on this one. So I don't have any plans as far as my own stuff than building a race car. But we'll see what kind of opportunities come throughout the year that I can get in. So.
Kyle, what about you? How many races are you going to run next year? You going to try to run the full season with the UARA?
We're going to run most of the season. We're going to avoid some of the Calamity Corner racetracks, unless we are high enough in points to have to go. The plan is to run the entire series next year and run some races at Cordell and New Smyrna. And we'll just see what happens. I mean, we're also going to be building a new car. New, but not new all at the same time. We're going to be converting an old Super into another Sportsman, because the one we lost at Op is now it's no longer with us. It was too junk to come back. So we're going to I don't know. We're going to see. I mean, we're going to kind of play it by ear. We spent way more money than I ever thought we'd spent this year, and we're going to kind of just see what happens next year.
All right, I got to catch up on some comments here. Felipe, you suck.
Yep.
What up, bitches? Senior popping in the chat.
That's me.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah.
Tate's with us. And now Tristan, who's going to cover all of us. Question for Kyle: how much learning and experience did it take you to be comfortable going from being a fan to being a driver, and what tips do you have for someone who wants to race?
Jim may have a different opinion on this, but I feel like I picked up the Sportsman pretty fast. I mean, and going from a fan to racing is, you got to have a good support system around you. You got to be able to ask questions. So if you're asking if you ever want to get into racing, how you're going to do it, you need to come in the pits, and you need to find a group of guys that you can trust or feel like you can trust, and you can ask questions and talk to them. I've been around the big leagues for, I think we're going on I think next year is 16 years of hanging out together and racing together.
Yeah, because you were there a year before me, and it's been 15 for me.
Yeah, so you're talking about 16 years, and even when we were building the Strictly stocks, Billy, I'd ask him a question. These guys are willing to help you put a cage in it, help you be safe, everything. It's just you got to find the right people to talk to. You just got to come in the pits. Nobody's ever going to turn you away. We might be in the middle of something, we might be busy, but I mean, I love to talk. I'll talk to anybody.
Everybody needs help too. Everybody needs help.
Yeah, everybody needs help. I mean, there's always, especially if you want to get your feet wet with it, there's always a crew that is willing to pay for your pit pass and to have you come in and help. You can always find somebody that's willing to pay, the $45 it is to get in the pits and have you come hang out. Hopefully you do something, hopefully you learn something, whatever. Sometimes a warm body is better than no body being there. We went to Freedom Factory last year, and I had some of my employees that were questionable at best come, and they were able to stand in line with tires for 4 hours waiting to get tires mounted, and that was a massive help. So, it's a useless thing, but it was needed. I wouldn't let them touch anything else, but they were able to handle that.
Dude, Kyle brings up that he will talk to anybody at the racetrack. My first time meeting Kyle was at 417, and it was after he just ran. I forgot what race I was there for. And he comes up, looks at me after this. Is after we were iRacing for a couple months or so. And he's like, "You want a beer?" And he just hands me a fucking beer.
That was the night we ran the Enduros and he ran the Crown Vic.
Was it that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had an Enduro car there too, right? And I destroyed it. They had to load it up with a skid steer.
You and Jeff. That was the night Jeff destroyed the Cavalier too.
Yep.
He killed the Cavalier. He killed the Intrepid. Billy's over there pouring ice water into the radiator, trying to get it to cool down.
Hard, dude.
Right out of the cooler.
Yeah. We worked so hard the night before, dude. We were in the shop for 8 hours, just solid, working on cars. And the next day we get there and two of them are destroyed. And
we had so much fun. I had so much fun. I still remember that night. That was a lot of fun.
Blast.
That's one thing I miss about that place being so close. You could do stupid shit like that. Now you go and race somewhere, you got to have it planned out, and it's got to be orchestrated, and there's hotels involved, and that's
It's
one
nice
thing.
when Freedom Factory puts races on because it's only an hour instead of 2.5 or whatever it is.
Well, that's what
Yeah,
me
now
and
it
him
drives
were
a lot
talking about.
easier.
We don't need hotels. Like we're both probably 45 minutes from there. We could both run home Friday night and be back early on Saturday. It's hard when you're at Auburndale to drive 2.5 hours all the way home. You don't get home till 2 in the morning by the time you get out of there and everything, and then you got to turn around and try to go back on Saturday.
Jimmy's like, that sounds like a you problem. It's still only 45 minutes for him.
Auburndale is real close. Auburndale is actually closer than Freedom Factory. So.
But
All right,
we could
so
also
now-
leave there very sauced up from 417 and make it home fine.
It's real close to the house from here. Just over the bridge.
There's been some 4 a.m.
Fuck,
nights.
I miss that place.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, we all
So
miss it. That
now-
was my favorite racetrack.
Shout out your sponsors, boys.
So
Feels not
mine,
enough.
I'm not.
these are going to sound the same, right? So QC Fleet Solutions, right? My dad helps out Frazier Lawn Care, or not lawn care. That was old business. Frazier Citrus Removal. And then Chad Pierce helps out a lot. And then obviously everybody that helps out throughout the season. Jeff Gilbo, Calvin Plummer, little Kyle Martiuk, Kyle Case helps out a lot.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, so
Heard that guy runs 10 laps in a Sportsman and he's done.
he's the reason I'm in the super. He's in the reason I'm in the super. So I got to thank him. And just everyone that's helped out in between. So, I mean, honestly, help is just as much as the money thing. So it's hard to find help.
A warm body's better than a good body.
That's true.
Well, we'll be there Saturday. We'll be there around 5. If you guys need a hand.
Around 5. We'll be there at 8.
I got to work.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta work. I don't know
Yeah,
what the
work.
fuck you want from me.
Sorry.
I'll get you a towel. It's about all I'm good for.
I gotta work Thursday night, and then I'll get home at 6 and leave the house and make it there about 8 o'clock and be there all day. So
You
it'll
an
be fun.
autograph session?
For the super, they are, yeah, for sure.
I'll come out and have you sign my titty.
All right.
It's on my forehead.
Kyle,
Yes, sir.
what's that look for?
I'm just looking.
Kyle, shout out your sponsors.
All right. So my sponsors are me. No, QC Fleet. Obviously we're a fleet management company. And without me owning that, we wouldn't be able to do this crazy stuff we're doing. Chad Pierce Motorsports. Let me think. Might as well go like Coca-Cola, Bud Light Lime. It was vitamin water.
I think you guys were doing the vans at our shop for the longest time.
I don't have any part of it, so no need to thank me.
Copenhagen.
Oh no, I'm not getting there yet. Nope, Zen for producing an awesome nicotine pouch. Yeah, hold on. I got these Swedish ones, baby.
Oh, you just wait a hot fucking minute, guy.
Oh, he's got some.
I got something you ain't seen before.
I got shit you ain't seen before.
That's cool watermelon.
Shelf in the fridge. We got
That's some Velos, dude. Little Velo spearmint too. Velo, whatever they are.
well, Zen cool watermelon.
You just showed me cool watermelon.
Oh, bud. Zen sour ruby.
Oh, bud.
And Zen apple mint.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I got you. What's up, bud? Hold on, let me dig over here on my desk. Got some black cherry.
How's the black cherry? Because I couldn't get my hands on it.
It's pretty tits. But it's
Cool
dry.
watermelon's by far my favorite. Top
Shout
tier.
out
apple
wintergreen and peppermint for me, boys. Wintergreen and peppermint.
See, the problem, Kyle, is I can only get the apple mint, and I don't know if it'll show up, in 9 milligram.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And boy, that's
there.
a behemoth when you're not expecting it.
What are you talking about? I'm ripping 2 of them right now.
I got
I'm
2
on
6s in.
bro. They threw that 9 in there, I'm like, holy fuck, what planet am I on?
He had some 20-something milligrams at one point, and they put you down.
I got 2 6s in right now.
All right.
We got one that's got El Chapo on the hood on the cover of it. That bitch is 50.
I got a fun story for
You
you.
got some of those at the house?
Yeah, I'll have to dig them out of the box.
We were working on the Crown Vic one night, and we almost fell on the ground.
Bring me one of them for Saturday. That could make it interesting.
Oh yeah, no, it's rough.
I got the spins.
Oh yeah.
We're in. I'm going to point this way. We're in Bristol earlier this year for the night race, and my buddy Victor I met up there goes, "Hey, let me try one of those Zins." And I only had, I think at the time, I think I did have the 6. This man's never ripped a nicotine pouch before. He put one in during the truck race, and we go up along the fence for the last lap when Lane Riggs won, and he goes, "Dude, I don't know. I feel like I'm in fucking space." So the rest of the weekend, I kept trying to hand him one. He goes, "No, dude, I need to pay attention for this."
I took AJ to Homestead, and we had VIP passes. We can go wherever we want. And the whole time he's like, "Dude, I'm not supposed to be here."
Yeah, I was not. Nobody was stopping me, and I don't know why.
They were looking at that hard card, baby.
Yeah, yeah, they didn't care.
Tell me I could pole vault with this pit sign, and no one's gonna say shit.
What do you mean they're fucking recruiting you to scrub tires?
I almost got thrown over pit wall by Ty Gibbs.
Almost get thrown over pit wall.
I had my foot in the middle of their air hose, and they went to yank the air hose, dude. I about went flying. It was awesome.
Ty Gibbs pit crew guy, probably his gas man, came over to Phil. Was like, "Hey, can you get off our air hose?"
So, me and Kyle mentioned it earlier. So Kyle, why don't you tell the Governor's Cup story? How you got us the motor.
So what was that? 2015, 2016?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. The Bigleys went up to the Governor's Cup, and what was it? Friday night, we're practicing, and they come down the front stretch, and it's pink. That's it. Out of the bottom of the motor. So the Friday, we went searching for a motor, couldn't find one. Friday, they decide we're just going to stay and watch. Everybody's paid for the weekend, whatever, just stay and watch. So Saturday, we go out, go-kart, and go to lunch. I get a piece of sand in my eye.
Start drinking at like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we got back to the track at like 6. And they make me – I have a trailer in there for the golf carts you brought. And they make me go park outside. So, okay, cool. So my wife comes and gets me in the golf cart. We're pulling back in, and there's this guy. And he's walking, and he's trying to juggle like a vacuum cleaner, a case of water, like all this like random shit from Ace Hardware. And I stop. I'm like, "Hey, man, you need a ride?" He was like, "I'd love a ride." So I pick him up on a golf cart. We're sitting there waiting to go across. We get to talking, tell him we're at Bigley's, blew an engine, da-da-da. And he goes, "I have an engine." We're like, "Oh, yeah, but, what do you want for it?" And he was like, "Nothing. You guys can just borrow it. Just send it back." It's got a warranty. So supermotor with a warranty. And that was probably 8 o'clock. So I run him in. I run over, get Billy. Billy runs over, talks to him, and the guy's like, "Yeah, man, it's free. You guys can just borrow it. You just got to get it. You got to put it in." Qualifying's over. Everything's over. Like, there's one more spot in the dirt or in the Governor's Cup, and so we start putting a motor in at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And the guy comes over to
starting drinking at 11. Already had a bottle of Fireball while we were watching the races.
And the guy, dude, I don't know. This guy's I don't remember his name. Nicest guy I've ever met, because he comes over his brand new F-250, parks it with the motor in the bed, and he's got a pro motor and a super motor in it. And we're like, "Okay, we're getting a cherry picker, we'll get it out." And he's like, "Give me the golf cart." We're like, "What?" And he's like, "You guys can have the truck for the night. Just give me the golf cart as collateral." So he takes off in his golf cart that we rented. It's just gone. And we, it was all night. My buddy James was having kidney stones, so he's rolling around on the ground. Like,
we went
crying.
to bed at like 6:30, and we were back up at 7.
Yeah, I went back to the hotel, took a shower, laid down, and Ace opened at 7:30. So I got about 5 minutes of sleep. Woke back up, went to Ace, got the bolts we needed, and we were practicing. We went, and they let us run 3 laps at 11, and that was it.
Meanwhile, we had nothing prepared. Like, we hadn't picked out tires. We hadn't done anything. So Josh and I are in there Sunday morning picking out tires for the race. sweating out all the freaking alcohol. And then that was one of the times that the freaking septic backed up there. So the whole infield just smelled like raw shit, dude. Oh, it was so bad.
We did all that to get Arthur on lap 60.
Yep. By some French.
And kill the rear clip.
French dude.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Came in, accident's over. Dylan's against the wall, just didn't hit nothing. And he's just like, I want to be part of it. Boom!
So now, one last question for the two of you. Who's your pick for the super race?
Me,
Yeah, Jimmy Frazier.
for sure. Why would I not pick myself?
I have no comment.
I mean, since you're on the quarter panel, probably Jimmy Frazier.
Oh, Jimmy Frazier or Dylan. I would like to get a picture of Victory Lane. We did achieve that at the Derby when I sponsored cars, so maybe we can try again.
There's a lot of fast guys. Johnny Sauter, Ty Majeski, obviously. Jesse Dutilli is really good there. There's a lot of good guys that are going to be contending to win. So,
I honestly think those
Jimmy
three
added his
names
name
he
to
just said is probably going to be one of your winners, unless somebody breaks.
Sauter, Majeski, Dutilli.
Yeah, unless they break.
I said to Tristan earlier, I said I think it comes down to Majeski and Dutilli.
No, Sauter's got it hooked up around.
Sauter
there.
does have it
been
hooked
real
up.
good there.
Yeah, he's got it hooked
Obviously,
up.
Jet Nolan was your winner last year, so I'm sure he's going to be really good. So
What we've seen in the last couple of years, like you said, you got to have luck on your side more than anything. I mean,
I guess I might as
What
well
was it?
pull this
Ma-
up.
Majeski had had that 1-1, and then what they get? Was it the upper control arm broke on lap 1 or whatever it was?
Yeah, I mean,
that was the first one he came to at Punta Gorda.
You can be fast. I mean, one little bad thing happens and it ruins the whole weekend. So that's a lot of luck on your side and everything going right. So, like I said, we were good at Cordell and got a bad set of race tires that punched 20 points higher than they were supposed to. So, I mean, everything's got to go right.
So who's in the 12?
Mario Gosselin is
Mario Gosselin's car.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be him driving or somebody else driving, but it'll be there.
It'll be his car for sure.
TBD, I've heard, is a hell of a driver.
Yeah.
Not as good as what's the one on Race Monitor? Data unavailable. Data unavailable.
Data unavailable is always killing it.
Oh, dude. There's always one guy at a race that's data unavailable, I swear to God.
The bad thing is, man, I signed up for this race like literally less than an hour after it signed up, and I'm way in the bag.
I mean, your name's on there, though.
Yeah, it's on there.
I'm hoping that's not in order.
Listen, you got Johnny Sauter and Luke Fenhouse, Neary, Webster, Nolan. You got some good names around you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
We all get to go through pre-tech together.
Is that the order?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
That's the order that you signed up there. So.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Do you have the Sportsman one I sent you to?
I don't know if I have the spot. Hang on, I get it. Although you keep sending me all these fucking pictures that I don't know what the fuck they are. You sent me the Sportsman one?
It's on Facebook.
Hold on.
I didn't see the Sportsman one. The one I put up a little bit ago was the actual poster for it. Yeah, go ahead and send that to me. Or just share your fucking screen.
I just shared my fucking screen. So these are the guys that are locked in for this race. These are the only 20 people that'll be on track for the Sportsman race.
Yeah. So they originally opened it up for top 20, and I don't think everyone signed up, so they opened it up for a couple people past that. And they ended up locking in 20 cars. So
is Cody actually racing?
We don't know.
Yeah,
he doesn't. He doesn't know. So he's gonna try to. He's gonna try and make it for the race.
So Kyle, can you release who you're driving for?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed or not.
Matthew Green's car.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm allowed. Yeah, I'm gonna be running. I'm gonna be running the orange 44 this weekend.
Awesome.
Yep.
It's a good
So
car.
they told me that they're going to be putting a new body on it anyway, so they might as well let it go out in a blaze of glory.
God, they got high hopes for you.
Little do they know they're going to be putting a front and rear clip on it too. So
It's definitely. I already told Chad you might as well build a front clip for it.
Center section, dude.
No, that's only half the job.
I mean, I can't say much. I clipped my first car last October of last year, and then clipped another one October of this year. So that's 2 cars for me in 1 year, and he's clipped 2 cars. So
What time does this race start? What
we're
time do I
about
got to
even.
be there?
This one, it starts earlier. Probably 7 or so.
The qualifying's not till 5:30.
Oh shit,
Yeah, if
we'll
you're
be there.
if you're
Yeah, we'll
coming,
be
you got to
fine.
make qualifying, and then I think this one's first, and then I'm gonna be jumping out of the Sportsman, riding the Super, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I get out of work at 3. I'm meeting up with him and pretty much leaving as soon as we get to his house. So 4:30
Yeah,
will probably
Hope
be
to
up
God I don't get a late call, Phil. That
Tell him you-
158 call.
there. Tell him you got ligma.
Are you still working for Cool today?
No, Bauer Sox.
Oh.
That's why I said I think we were there, but I'm pretty sure Calvin was sniffing my seat, so we had to let him go.
Probably. No, they that was a billing problem. Yep. But it is what it is. Me and Bruce go way back, so
Yeah, it's a cool group to work for.
yeah, I've known Bruce and them for a very long time, and
I think we were working through Ford when Calvin was there.
Yep. Which then I took over pretty much everything Ford has, and then they're owned by their vans are owned by a company. They're owned by Enterprise,
Right.
and Enterprise is like fighting a deaf kid to get paid. So, so it's nothing against them, nothing against anybody. It's just, I don't enjoy the.
Well, if you ever see the camo van cutting off a elderly woman, that's me.
I'll make sure to run it off the road.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a day off.
Don't worry,
Good
Bruce
thing-
will probably call me to fix that.
Good thing you don't live where Jimmy is.
Jimmy, pull me over. Tell him I need to take the day off.
Oh, we can for sure. We'll set it up.
You got any friends in Venice?
You might get a ticket, but it'll be fine.
Hey,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I don't got to pay it, right?
Company van.
It's a write-off.
You'd hate to work for me.
That's why I don't work for you.
Yeah. You're paying for your own goddamn ticket. You're lucky I covered the tolls, motherfucker.
I mean, hell, I can let in a little. We had one guy who got in 2 accidents in one day.
That's a lot.
2
Oh, what
accidents one day.
What about the guy that works there? We put the lift gate on. Launches the thing. Now I got the final story. He launches it over a curb and bends this $10,000 lift gate.
Yep.
The truck has 3,000 miles on it. The lift gate's got 30.
Seconds.
Yeah, like we drove it from getting it put on to them. Next day, fucked.
Kind of sounds like that night we took the Enduro cars to the racetrack.
I remember that, and I'm not going to release names on who it was, but I know.
Fucking idiot. It started off with he pulled out of the driveway and hit it. I was like, okay, all right, that's my bad. Maybe I should have cut it shorter. And then the whole story came out. Well, he got run off the road, and I was like, oh, okay. All right, I mean, it doesn't really affect me, but it's not my fault anymore. And then he jumped some curbs.
Bro, the first van I had, second van I had there had the roof rack, like the ladder rack on the roof, all bent up and shit like that. Ladders were bent. And I said, what the fuck happened here? They go, yeah, he came into his driveway one night and hit his fucking carport. I'm like, how fast did he hit the fucking carport? I mean, these are aluminum or metal ladders just fucking bent.
Yeah, I got one. We have one for Cool today up in Sarasota. That hit a fucking awning. Ripped the entire ladder rack off. Ladders and all.
Jesus. How fast is he going?
They said he was doing like 30 or 40 is what the camera caught him at.
Good God.
Yeah. No, we get to I deal with so much crazy shit. We could be here for 6 hours telling you about the crazy shit.
Well, that's what we got this weekend for.
Yeah, guys hitting mailboxes, hitting people, clearing. I picked up 8 trucks out of impound from police impound in the past 6 months.
I've been in one accident in my life.
Your trucks?
No.
Oh,
The companies
okay.
that I work for, I'm on a first name basis with the Lee County people. They get popped for everything. Road rage, drugs, you name it.
I've been in one accident. It happened earlier this year. And you know where the 7-Eleven is in Welland?
Yep.
So that they have it down to 1 lane. Or at least then they did. And it might still be now. I can't remember. But I was at the stop sign trying to turn back onto 41. And this lady in this BMW in front of me made it look like she jammed the gas pedal. So she went forward. So I'm just looking at oncoming traffic, waiting for my spot. I find my spot. I hit the gas, look up. She's still fucking there. I'm like, you fucking went. You're like half in the middle of the fucking road.
Right. I had one of our guys was driving a company's van and turned out of a parking spot and clipped the front of another car.
That's why
this is like an 05 Camry.
I back into everywhere for that reason.
Yeah, so he turns out of this spot, clips the front of the car. It's like an 05 Camry. It needs a headlight, a fender, and a bumper. Not a big deal, right? The guy blackmails us into like $6,000 for this 05 Camry. Jesus. So I own an 05 Camry somewhere in Orlando.
It's not in the graveyard in the backyard.
No. I told him when he told me that, he's like, I'm going to do that or I'm going to sue you. And I said, well, then I want the car. He wouldn't give the car up, so I just paid him his money, and I own it up there somewhere. I have paid for his new car.
He's still driving around with a messed up bumper fender.
Oh,
and
100%. 100%.
This is Kyle Case Enterprise right across the dent.
Yep.
Probably.
QC Fleet did this.
Dude, he's probably got like 24s on it.
I mean, he was the particular person to have 24s and probably some 15s in the back.
I'm not gonna say it.
No
I'm not gonna say
comment.
I'm not gonna say it.
Hey, Jimmy mentioned something about different locations where people are coming from.
Oh shit!
There you go.
Wyoming,
California, Colorado, Florida. Shocker. Illinois, Maine, Minnesota, North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Wyoming.
There you go.
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
I didn't even know they had racetracks in Wyoming.
They don't. That's why they come down here.
I didn't know people lived in Wyoming.
They don't. That's why they come down here.
Yeah, so a lot of those guys plan on running the Derby, and they bring their backup car and run it at the Bigley, and then go to the Derby. So it's kind of like a one trip deal for them.
Yeah,
well, the real thing is too is they can fund their entire Derby weekend if they were able to win this. So that's why you get some of the weird guys coming down here.
Bro, I know what tickets are to get into the fucking Derby. What is it to win it?
Isn't it around 30, 35?
I think it's like 30 or 35. But you'll spend, if you want to go there with the intention to win, you'll spend 30 to 40 grand that weekend.
Jesus.
So that's a big thing with the Bigley is it's a pretty high paying race, and it's kind of like a weekend race deal if you want to call it. You know, it's a 2-day deal, and you buy the most that these guys are probably going to buy is 4 or 5 sets of tires, and you go race for 30 grand. So that's kind of a big thing.
50 to win the Derby.
Okay.
Okay,
So it's 50, 25 for second, 12,500 for third, 9, 8, 7, 6 down, and then like 10th is it like drops by a couple hundred here and there, and it's 2,500 to start from 20th on back.
Yeah, but you'll spend. So I know from going up there with Atwell that just to go up there and try to make it, they would spend between 20 and 25 between hotels, tires, fuel, everything. They about 20, 25.
I mean, the Bigley itself costs about 8 to 10. So
yeah.
How many sets? I know you said you get 2 leftover sets, but how many sets are like? The average guys are probably gonna have 2 to 3, right?
Yeah, so we're going in with 4, a race set and 3 practice sets. So there's 3 practice sessions total between. I think there's 2 2-hour sessions Friday and an hour session Saturday. So we plan on stickering up each session.
You just
At
make
least
adjustments,
once.
basically like qualifying adjustments, try to get it ready for qualifying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed from Cordell is the tires drop off quick in a super. So you might go out and run pretty quick, and then you go out the next time and you're 2/10 slower because you're on over tires now. So these guys are, a lot of the fast guys especially, are making all their adjustments off of new tires. And if you're going to be fast, that's kind of what you got to do. So,
I mean, some of the bigger teams, you'll see 8 to 10 sets easy.
oh, sure. They'll probably sticker up at least 2 times each session. We're just going to sticker up once because that's what we got. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we're quick enough.
Hey, listen, that tire bill be getting expensive, okay?
For sure.
Tires ain't getting no cheaper.
I think they're like, what, $720 a set or something like that for supers?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
6 something for Sportsman now.
I mean, they're closer
I think
to
they're about
7 for
7
Sportsman too.
Yeah, I think they're about 7 for Sportsman too.
Dude, I remember what a set of tires was like $400.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was some good
When I
old
first
days.
started, they were a little under $500. So
Yeah. My first set of pure stock tires were like $400. They were $100 each.
yep.
Good use.
Well, and that's not counting having to pay, like liter and things like that. I mean, I think I wrote a check at Cordell for, what was it, $40-some $100 for tires and fuel, and they paid liter.
But we come back with about 20 gallons of fuel, 2 sets of tires, and $2,500 start money. So it's not too bad.
They said you had to buy 30 gallons. Well, I looked around. Well, I'll tell you what, the Cruckers golf carts running 110. Their generators running 110. Everything is running 110 because we had to get rid of it.
I blew a lawnmower up by doing that.
Yeah, we ran out of gas cans, so we were like, "Where are we going to put this in?" And they were like, "The golf cart." So we poured 5 gallons in the golf cart and went and got our other 5 gallons because we didn't meet our minimum fuel, fuel purchase.
If you guys need like 14 gallons of gas, I got it at the house, and I need to get rid of it. So
they run race fuel, but
I mean, I understand that, Phil. I get that.
Generator fuel though.
Golf cart don't run on fucking.
It does when you have to get rid of what you got in the can just to go buy more because they're making you buy it.
I got that old Bigley golf cart, and that thing loves 110.
I can't believe that thing's still running.
It's currently not, but I'll bring it back eventually. We've only blown it up like 9 times.
It's because you let your brother drive it.
Well,
World record for most rebuild fucking motors on a
it,
golf cart.
blows the rings out of it, and then you let it sit for a couple months, put another battery in it, and the rings swell back up. It's good to go.
Internal engine building.
Yes, it fixes itself. 9 eBay carburetors later, it runs great.
Gents, anything else?
Nope.
Well, we will see you guys this weekend.
Appreciate you guys coming on and chatting with us. We're planning on doing some of this a little more often, throwing in some short track stuff. So we'll bring you guys back on maybe in a couple weeks. We'll recap and have you guys run over the Derby or something with us.
It's either gonna be a great recap, or we're gonna be pissed.
I like the pissed off, dude.
This is the show where you get out all your frustrations with other people that are not in the.
Listen. This is the first weekend I'm going to a racetrack and racing cars that don't belong to me, so we got to take care of them.
No,
so you get behind the wheel
fenders.
and everything changes.
I've been there. I've been there.
Hey, when it's my own stuff, I don't care. I'll wreck it. I don't care. When it's somebody else's, it's got to be a little more careful.
A little more careful.
Just a little bit more.
So that means we're only gonna have to put a right front fender and a door on it.
Oh, I'm guaranteed to hit the wall at least once this weekend for sure.
Well, we'll try to get some pictures and videos and shit for that recap episode.
You can get a picture of me starting on a backstretch.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, man. Well, fellas, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, gents, appreciate it. We'll see you guys Saturday.
Yep, y'all come
Thank you,
by
I
for some
appreciate
food
it.
afterwards too. We'll have
We'll
plenty.
do. We'll
Oh.
stop by and see you.
Hell
Yeah, there's a bunch of beer. I think I bought like 175 beers or something like
yeah. Well, fuck, I ain't picky.
that. So I got everything. If you don't like something, then you can go find it somewhere else.
I thought he was gonna say you can go fuck yourself.
I was, but I'm trying to keep it PG on here.
No, dude,
You don't need to
ain't-
keep PG
you don't
on
have
here
to
ever.
keep it PG. No, our NASCAR shows, like we were doing NASCAR shows, and the shit that people were saying on here. We had one show after their Bristol weekend that, dude, we thought we were gonna get canceled right there. We thought YouTube was shutting us down.
I'll tell you guys the Truex story this weekend. I can't say it on air.
Yeah, yeah. The Truex story it's rough, but it's funny.
Oh, good thing Ryan's brother. That's all I'll say.
Oh my god. All right, boys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys taking time out.
Fellas, thank you. Thank you a lot.
I appreciate it.
Yep. We'll see y'all.
We'll see you guys Saturday.
Phil, I got one thing to show you before we get off.
Kyle was like all up in his phone like this when he was getting off.
We got Kyle. Bro, I got one thing to show you.
What do you got?
When we were cleaning out the garage this last weekend, I want to show you something I found.
Is that a piggy bank?
This is a gigantic Budweiser bottle with the old back on track
Ooh.
paint scheme on it. And the back is like a legit Budweiser bottle.
Oh.
Like, look at that shit, bro.
Is it glass?
It is full glass, bro.
Oh. That is
amazing. I forgot I even had this.
Dude, I had one of the big glass, like it was a piggy bank. And it
I
was
mean,
a
that's
big
essentially
Junior
what this is.
Budweiser deal.
Smells like coins, so I probably had money in it at one point. It fucking Tristan. So glad Martin's okay. I can't wait to tell those boys that story this weekend.
Kyle
Don't
will
let me
die,
forget.
dude. I won't.
Don't let
I
me
won't.
forget that. But anyway, this bottle, I sit it on top of the fucking mini fridge because why not?
Also, I need to try me one of these watermelon Zins this weekend.
Did you not try one when you were here for the party?
No.
Well, I'll put them in the fridge and we'll have them on Saturday. Don't let me forget those either. I'm guessing I don't got to bring a cooler, Phil?
Sure. You know we're still live, right?
Yeah, no, we're still live.
All right, just checking.
So I don't have to bring a cooler this weekend?
No, I mean, no, we'll be good.
Well, fuck it. All right.
I mean, if you want to, whatever. But I won't argue with you.
After we get up here, I'll tell you the story about how I was able to swing this weekend.
Uh-oh. Well, everybody, hope you enjoyed this.
This is a great show. Thanks for everybody coming out and commenting here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click that button below and subscribe to us or follow us on Facebook, whatever. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back here in a couple weeks to recap all the short track stuff and go over some off-season NASCAR stuff. So catch you on the next one.
We also want to do some more of the short track stuff too. So
We'll have to go to Discord after this, Phil.
we'll meet you over there.
We'll see you over there, Tristan.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
All right. See you guys.